Dan does that from time to time. And it just sort of like everything slows to like bullet time, and I turn around and like make sure that that really happened. I don't know how many. I assume that, you know, I feel like I'm among my tribe, so I'm sure that many of you are self-identify as nerds. I don't know how many of you have non-nerd partners, but we're not the easiest people to be married to. Because we tend to get upset about things that normal people don't get upset about. So there are certain things that Anne just won't watch with me. You know? There are certain things that she just won't do. And so now sometimes I'll be like kind of nerd snorting about something that I saw, and she'll say, "What are you laughing about?" And I'll say, "You know, it's a Unix thing. Forget it. It's not. It's a long way to go." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Do you want to play Scrabble?" Do I like Kirk or do I like Picard? You know, I like them both for very different reasons. I obviously, as an actor, Patrick Stewart is one of my favorite people in the world, and I'm a better actor because I work with him. I once read this interview with, I want to say it was with Luc Robitaille, but I can't remember for sure, talking about playing hockey with Wayne Gretzky. And this player, we'll just say it was Luc Robitaille, okay? So Luc Robitaille says, "You know, when I play hockey with Wayne, I don't want to be the guy that slows him down. You know, I want to be ready for whatever crazy pass he's going to make, and he makes me a better player. I work harder because I respect him so much." For me as a teenager, I've written about this a lot in my books. Because I was a teenager, I always felt like I didn't fully appreciate what I had when I was on Star Trek. It was very angsty for me. You know, I wanted to be friends with everybody, but I was a kid and they were adults, and I was so awkward. And like we could relate professionally, but we couldn't hang out personally because, you know, it was just weird like that. And I did my best, like, not to suck with what I was given. But the best scenes and the best storylines and the best work I ever did on that show was work that I did with Patrick. And I'm a better actor because of him. So when I watch Next Generation, I'm not objective. But when I watch the original series, I'm totally objective because I've been watching that as long as I can remember, you know? And I wrote this book called Memories of the Future Volume 1, and it's a collection of these, some of you have heard of it, it's a collection of these humorous Mystery Science Theater style recaps of the first half of the first season of Next Generation, which, if you remember, with equal parts facepalm and nostalgia, you'll probably enjoy. Then the other half of the book are all these like kind of high school yearbook kind of, you know, remembrances. And Picard likes to talk a lot, you know? It's like, "Captain, the big bad alien guys are gonna kick our ass in 35 seconds. All right, then, let's all go to the observation lounge and talk for 12 pages about it." And Data's stuck in the Chinese finger cuffs again. Can we just shoot them, please? No, that's not how we do things. "Hi, I'm Dr. Crusher. Can I bring my kid onto the bridge in the middle of a giant crisis?" "Now's not the best time, Beverly." Whereas Kirk was just like, they were like, Captain, the bad guys are gonna blow us up." And Kirk was like, "I'm getting laid. Can't you handle this shit on your own?" God damn it, Sulu. Do you know how hard it is to get 12 Orion slave girls in a room together? They usually fight to the death. Fire the phasers, God! And ask the seamstress if my ripped uniforms have come back repaired yet. I've got a planet to visit later today. I don't know why Captain Kirk talks like that. But, so, you know, I mean, I love them both, but for very, very different reasons. Of the you know, all the bald captains, though, I think that, you know, Picard probably wears it the best. Yes.
What's one of your favorite memories playing Dungeons and Dragons?
One of my favorite memories of playing Dungeons and Dragons. I see you're wearing an Enforcer shirt, so thank you for wearing the black. Even though it's red, it's always black in my heart. Well, obviously playing with Jerry and Mike and Scott Kurtz for the Penny Arcade podcast. It was amazing. I loved that. One of the greatest experiences I ever had with D&D was running a game for my son and some of his friends, and passing along to my kids something that was really important to me, something that was really meaningful to me. When they were little, my kid's bio father took over sports and pushed me out of sports, and was so competitive with sports that it ruined sports for all of us. And it was really a bummer. Like, it was really a drag. I didn't get to share that let's go play catch thing with my kids. But we got to play role-playing games together. And I taught them how to make characters. And I taught them how to not be a rules lawyer, and how to not like min-max characters, and the importance of role-playing. So the first game that I ran for them, and I wrote it serialized on my blog for my son and his friends, which was supposed to be the beginning of a campaign, but his friends were like, we would rather go no-scope people in Call of Duty, whatever. It was a wonderful experience. And seeing myself in my son as a player in a role-playing game was really, really satisfying to me. Because the other guys were totally trying to meta-game, and my son was just role-playing. And it was really awesome. Yes?
With all the recent talks you do about tabletop gaming, what's your favorite tabletop game?
My favorite tabletop game at the moment? I really like Small World. From Days of Wonder, and it's a terrific game. I love Matt Leacock's Roll Through the Ages. I love Pandemic. I've had more fun losing games of Pandemic than I've had winning other games. Some of you know what that means. I love Munchkin. Playing Munchkin at a con is the best. You stand up on the chair and humiliate yourself to get an extra level, and it's really, really, really a lot of fun. And the new rules that have come out in the 19th printing just make it even more fun. And SJ Games has a new game out called Cthulhu Dice that is so much fun. And I have been told by other people, not knowing this from personal experience, I would like to be very clear about that fact, that it is able to be transformed into a drinking game. Not that I would ever encourage you to do something like that, because it is wildly irresponsible. I haven't been in this side of the room in a bit. Yes?
I really enjoyed some of your voice work on Batman.
Thanks.
Is the one that won the comic book trivia.
So much. Is there any video game you'd like to do voice work for?
I love doing voice work. I know it's probably hard for you all looking at me right now to imagine that I would have a hard time passing as a superhero in a live-action film. On account of my body by Guinness and sort of like shoulders by computer. But I can totally be the Blue Beetle on Brave and the Bold. Like, that's amazing to me. Like, I'm the voice of Ted Kord. No one had ever played Ted Kord before me. So, and I didn't know that until the episode was about to air, which is great, because I would have been so paralyzed with the responsibility of that, had I known that at the time, that I wouldn't have been able to do it. So voice acting is a wonderful, wonderful creative outlet for me. And I've done a lot of video games. I'm in Red Dead Redemption, and I haven't encountered myself yet. I think you have to play the game for like 30 hours before you actually come upon me. But I actually put a story about this on my blog recently. I was in one of the Ghost Recon games, and I played one of the guys in the Ghost Recon game that's going to be in your squad. And for the 5 of you who don't know how this game works, it's a squad-based game. You command like 3 other players, and you run through all of these missions, and you can tell them what to do, and like they can be snipers, and they can be medics, and they can take care of you, and then you sort of get through the game. Now, a lot of people, it's not really that big a deal if one of the people in the squad gets killed, because all that matters really is you just get through and you finish the level. So I was playing Ghost Recon. I was playing the game that I was in, and I play this character David Foster in one of the Ghost Recon games. And there's this level where we have to run like through a hole in a wall into a field. There's all this tall grass in the field, and we have to go through the tall grass and like up into a courtyard and like, I don't know, ring the bell and clap your hands for Tinkerbell. I forget what the name is. And so I start out, and I'm like, let's go, and Foster as me. So I'm like, and try to keep the me's straight in this, okay? So like Foster's like, okay man, here we go. I'm David Foster and I'm awesome. And then I'm like, you're the best soldier ever, David Foster. Keep going.